Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another video for the channel. On this occasion I bring you a full review of Boss's Rise, one of the most amazing boss mods of all Minecraft. But before starting, as always, I remind you that you can leave your like and subscribe, since in that way, you will have much more luck finding diamonds when going to the mine. And if you don't believe me, what are you waiting for to check it out? Subscribe now. So, without anything else to say, let's go for the video. Welcome to Boss's Rise, a new boss mod. It's RPG style with amazing battles and animations, adding for powerful enemies that we must defeat to get his new legendary weapon that will improve our skills in battle. Perhaps you will be able to achieve it. Well, first of all, let's talk about the most basic things. And from now on, after having downloaded this mod, we will have a new special ability. By pressing the Z key, now we can make a turn, sideways, front or back, to dodge attacks. And although this has a somewhat slow reload time, may be accelerated with the new mod armament. In this case, the Knight's Armor, a set with protection similar to the Iron Armor, but that will give you a point extra for each piece of armor, recovery of the ability to roll. Also, in terms of basic weapons, we will have the Long Sword, a slow weapon with 12 damage and 1.5 extra range when attacking. Warrior Sword, a medium speed weapon with 7 damage. And finally, the Dagger, a fast weapon with 5 damage, but with a reduced range when attacking by 0.5%. In addition to these weapons also, we will have a new shield that, apart from being more resistant, will increase by 0.5% the recovery of the ability to roll. And by the way, all this new weaponry, it will be created with the new ore from the mod, Ancient Iron, which can only be found in chests or defeating the mod's new enemies. And speaking of, now let's go with all the new ones, bosses, and structures that this mod will be bringing us. The first creature we will visit will be the Yeti, being, in my opinion, the mini-boss, weakest of the entire mod. This will appear usually in biomes, snow-capped mountains, and their structure. It will only be a small one, iceberg with some human bones. If we get close enough, this will then appear aggressively. Begin the battle. Be a swift creature with enormous attack power, in addition to the ability to give us the effect, freezing. So it will be quite key. Use a shield or the roll ability to avoid each of their attacks. At the moment in which, let's lower half of his life. This will enter its state of fury, where you will now be able to take parts of the terrain to throw them. If we manage to defeat him, this will leave us with a frozen fist, which will have multiple uses. If we use it to hit, we will give the freezing effect, in addition to counting with 2.5 extra points of push when attacking. In the case of pressing right-click, looking down at the ground, we will create an ice cloud with the area freezing effect. And as a last skill, this can also be used as if it were a shield. The next one, creature we will see, it is the Sandworm. This can be found in desert biomes, in a small structure with sandstone columns and some skeletons, alerting us to the terrible danger. The Sandworm will have the ability to throw poisonous slime and move quickly across the battlefield, diving in and then coming out the sand and attack with his powerful attacks. What will make him even more dangerous is that it will have an enormous reach. Well, practically, the entire battlefield will be a perfect target to receive their attacks. If we manage to defeat him, this one will leave its jaws on us, with which we can launch poisonous drool on average, distance, and if you want, we will be able to reload the weapon. Do it with right click, but at the cost of taking damage, in case of being poisoned, and right click. With the weapon, this will end, absorbing the poison. Our next stop will be the Dragon Tower. In this case, it will be a huge structure, which will usually appear in mountainous biomes. Within this, we will find lots of chests and barrels with treasures, like mineral books, delighted, and even pieces of ancient iron armor. But of course, not everything will be so easy to achieve, because these will be protected by the Dragon Guardians, large gray armed skeletons, that when dying, they will be leaving us there. Bones, gold nuggets, and ancient iron. But the thing does not end here. Well, if we keep going up, we will meet with the Flaming Dragon Guards, which, they were much more enemies, more powerful than the previous ones. But for whom, yes, you should take care of yourself. Flaming triggers that. They will have the ability to shoot with their cannon. Fire charges that will do much more damage than a normal burn. And finish on top. The Lator will be with us, waiting for the head of the structure. The terrible infernal dragon. One of the most powerful and annoying enemies. Well, when we find ourselves at the top of a tower, we won't be able to move around as freely. In addition to this, we'll be able to break the ground it passes through, making little by little, our mobility is reduced. Or even in the worst of the cases you sent us, flying away from the sand. In addition, being a dragon on fire. This one will be able to burn us with each of its attacks. In case we leave it at 1/4 life, this will enter its hellish state, turning into a skeletal dragon, much more aggressive and faster when attacking. If we succeed, defeating him will leave us with his bones and his head. Highly ingredients, valuable for the creation of new weapons. In this case, the complete set of dragon bones will have very similar protection to netherite, but with 2 extra skills. Each piece will give 0.5 more skill recovery, 2 rotate, plus an extra point of fire stability. A new skill that will allow you to stop burning yourself out much faster. And be careful that in addition to the set of dragon bones, we will have a new shield, which will give us an extra point of armor, and to others of hardness of armor, but in exchange we will lose 10% speed. And finally, we will have the structure of the underworld arena, possibly being the largest of the entire mod, with several paths full of treasures inside chests and barrels, protected by soul skeletons. A variant, faster and stronger than specialized, with use of the sword and being defeated. They will be leaving us bones and nuggets of ancient metal. But in addition to these, we will also have the Wither Knights. Large skeletons, armed that at the moment of hitting us, will give the Wither effect. When finishing them off, they will be leaving us their bones, coal ingots, and nuggets of ancient metal. And Wither's head. Now well, if we manage to reach the center of everything, we will find the Coliseum, where if we get close enough, we will awaken the Knight of the Underworld, a powerful swordsman warrior with an incredible mobility, being the most agile and fastest enemy in the entire mod. But that equally will have a great damage capacity. And be careful, we still have to talk about his armies. Well, similar to Iron Knight, Demauzi's mobs, this one cannot be damaged so easily. So, we only have left dodge it until our time comes. Well, from time to time for a few seconds, in the fight he will take a short break, being totally vulnerable to our attacks. If we manage to defeat him, this one will leave us the Knight's Sword, the most powerful weapon in the entire mod, with a total of 14 damage, and an increased range of the 0.5 plus an extra skill, with which we can launch cutting attacks at the distance. As you can see, this mod has a quality excellent, even to the point of seeming like an addict from the marketplace, with good modeling, design, and animations, but above all the detail of the cinematics, in the purest style of a final boss. And that would certainly be quite great for others. Similar mods, yes. Well, it doesn't have much content for the little it contributes. It really improves a lot your experience in Minecraft. But now tell me, what did you think of this mod? Which of all the new bosses was your favorite or the one that caught your attention the most? Or what other type of mods you would like to see in an upcoming video? I'll be reading you in the comments. And well guys, I hope you liked it, that they had fun. That's what it is. The most important thing for me. If you liked the video, I would ask you to please leave your like. You will comment what you thought of this video. What other types of videos would you like to see on the channel? And also subscribe. That is very important. Remember, never carry your cell phone if you go to another fortress.
¿Eso es racista? Sí.
And see you in the next video. Bye.